Hi everyone, Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and in this video I'm going to go over a tour of my Apple Eco setup and how my iPhone and my iPad, how I use them to make my videos and some of the things that I do. And some of my favorite features of how seamlessly the iPhone and iPad can AirDrop. So in this video, I'm going to demonstrate just how that works. And I'm going to start with going into an application such as the Craft app if I want to go into a new document. Now, if I go into that new document here, and if I screenshot and then AirDrop to my iPhone here, there's one thing I will mention in the video here. So taking a look here at my iPad, you can see when I went into the Craft app, it automatically popped up on my iPad. That is part of AirPlay and Handoff. If I go ahead and AirDrop another picture, see if I screenshot, if I go into Apple Notes maybe, it is a very seamless way to AirDrop to the iPhone. If we give it a second, as you can see here, I was in Notes on my iPhone and it popped up from my iPhone. And there's also another thing that I really like. If I go into the Craft app on my iPad, you will get a little pop-up down here that lets you know the Craft app has been opened. And it will pull up whatever document that you have or whichever part of the app you were in. It will also work the same if I go into Notes. So if we open Notes here, then I go into the app switcher, a little pop-up for Notes will appear, and I can go into my note. So that is a really great feature. Now, if I go to the iPad, and while I have my default browser set to a different one, for example, if I go to Apple's website and we AirDrop it to my iPhone, you guys will see it will open up in Arc Search. And overall, it is a really great experience. So I like the fact that you can AirDrop two different devices. That's how I can AirDrop wallpapers for videos and different things like that. Now, there is a feature I want to demonstrate on the iPad. Now, on the iPad, I may have shown this off in many videos, but if I go into the app library here, I may have shown this off in many of my videos, or a couple rather, but I use CapCut to edit my videos, and I'm also going to show you guys just how quick it is as well. So if we go into it, then I just delete the watermark. And then we just press on the export button. Now, realistically, it's not going to always be that quick. But since that was a short video, it is relatively quick. Now, if I go into it here, there is the video that I exported in CapCut. So I definitely use that to edit my videos, also airdropping video clips from my iPad to my iPhone. Airplane handoff is a really good feature. And if you want to see how to enable it, you go to General. Well, since I'm on the iOS public beta, or I'm not running it right now, forget to turn off beta updates. You go to Airplane Continuity Camera. And you can enable handoff. However, I won't be disabling it. But that's typically how you would turn it on. Now, since I'm a YouTuber, I have to keep track of how many subscribers I have and the different platforms that I'm on. So I have YouTube Studio, which I currently have 456 subscribers. And I'm also on X, known as Twitter, where I post a lot of different screenshots, sort of my leaks and rumors for the Unity wallpaper, which I think Apple will call Unity Glass. But that's in iOS 26.3. That's how I manage my channel. And I'm also on Spotify with podcasts, though I haven't done one in a while. If we go into it, Spotify for creators, I have quite a few episodes that I made. And of course, with all of my voice memos, they can sync across. Well, that may not work 100% if you don't have iCloud storage. But if I go into my podcast here, these are some of the podcasts that I've created. I have to make a new one as I haven't made one in quite a while. So that's pretty much mainly how I use my device. With some of the features that Apple have built in, I really like the fact that if you go into, say, the Notes app, you will get a pop-up. Or if you go into the Craft app, you will get a pop-up. Or even Safari sometimes. But since I have a different browser as my default, you will get a pop-up. Or even if I go into the phone app on the iPad, it will also try to give me a pop-up as well. So I really like the fact that you can use Airplane handoff. So that's a tour of my Apple ecosystem. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.